What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Man, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait till a few of y'all get here to say what I want to say. Got two things to say. One thing to say before I even get into the topic. I'm gonna wait until the few of y'all show up, man. It's late, so however many of y'all decide to come, I'm very happy for that. In our small community, a small little neighborhood that we live in. We live in a small little neighborhood. But I meant to come on earlier. I really have had a busy day. It's been a long, busy day. But my intention was to be on here probably 3 hours ago. Yeah, about 3 hours ago. That was my intention. But you have things to do at times, man. W say you look pissed off tonight. No, I'm good. I'm actually in a pretty decent mood. I'm not in a good mood about this topic that I'm getting ready to get in. So, buckle your seatbelt for that one. But I wanted to wait till a few people got in here so I could apologize for starting this late. I apologize for starting this late, man. But I like I said, I've been busy all day. It's been raining. It's been a rainy day here in the H. And so, you still have stuff to do even when it rains. So you got to get on. You got to get on with your day, regardless, even if it's raining, unless it's raining too bad. But it does kind of slow down things and affect things. But let's get right into it, man. Let's not play with it. Let's get to it. I saw this video where I don't know if this was like daycare. It might have been daycare or pre-K or something with, because the children look pretty small and pretty young. But I want to say in between, well, maybe not daycare. Might have been like pre-K to kindergarten, the first grade, somewhere up in there. Little boy could have been 5, 6, somewhere up in there. But at some school, now I don't know how old the clip is. I shared the clip. Shout out to my brother Sean Muhammad. I saw a clip that he posted on Facebook, and I just shared it after I saw it because I was hot about that. And they were doing some kind of school activity, and when the man showed up to the school, I don't know if he was coming to pick his son up or what, but when he showed up, much to his surprise and shock, and much to his chagrin, his son was standing there with a dress on that the teachers had put on. He wasn't the only little boy that was standing there with a dress on. His son is wearing a dress. Now, just paint this picture in your mind. Picture this in your mind. You wake up in the morning to get your son ready to go to school, and you have already clothed him. You put him in some pants and a shirt, some tennis shoes. You've already provided for him the clothing that he's going to wear that day, and you send him off to school, which in your mind is supposed to be the place of where he'll be gathering and gaining an education, a place that's supposed to be a safe environment, environment for learning, environment for proper nurturing and care, security. And you show up and your son is wearing a dress. Now, I don't know what the context of the project they were doing was. I don't know what the meaning of it was or the purpose, but it don't even matter. The point is, the question is, why would you be putting my son in a dress? What are we doing? What's going on? What part of the game is that? What part of the project? What part of the education is that? And the little boys, they don't really know. They don't lock into it like that. I mean, now there are some that know. There's some advanced little boys out there that I'm sure would have been like, I ain't putting on no dress. But these young impressionable young boys, they clearly didn't know, because they were just standing there with dresses on, like, well, I guess this is what we're supposed to do. I would have loved to have known what the teacher's explanation was, um, why they would have them doing that. But we talk about this agenda all the time, and a lot of times when we talk about the agenda to, and it's a brother now, it's a black man and his son, and we talk about the agenda to feminize black boys, black men, and a lot of people will dismiss that as being either stupid, either being uh, conspiracy theory, being like, oh, come on, man, y'all tripping, whatever it is. But we constantly see it. We see it all the time, because the question is why. See, I keep going back to what was the purpose of this project. That's the only part I miss, and that's the part that's eating at me, because to me, there's no scenario that justifies my son being in a school and somebody putting a dress on my son. There's nothing that the teacher can say. The teacher can't say, well, we're trying to make them understand the dynamic with it's nothing that you can say. So the brother walked in the room and was like, he was really calm. He was really calm and cool. He was calm. Keandria said, let me walk up the stairs. I'll be back. Okay. But he was calm and cool. He was like, why is my son in a dress? Like, take that dress off my son. He said, don't ever, ever. He put about 9 evers on there. Don't ever, ever, ever put my son in the dress. And he was very composed and he was very calm about the situation, although I know that was a high degree of anger sitting up in that man's chest, because the shock and the horror of walking in and seeing your little boy with a dress on, and these teachers, these female teachers, they prepping it and getting him ready and got him. The boy's just standing there. So they immediately started taking the dress off of him. Now I would, and like I say, I guess the situation diffused because no voices were raised, and it didn't escalate because the guy didn't flip out. The guy didn't come in slapping teachers or either come in knocking over tables and going insane in there, which had he even done that, everybody would have been saying how wrong he was. And if he'd have been walking out cussing and going off, everybody would have said how wrong he was and he shouldn't have handled it like that. But man, come on, man. Come on, man. And there's already this movement to try to empower little bitty children, all the way down to babies, trying to empower them in terms of giving them the power to say what they are, what they want to be. So they'll look at a little boy and say, do you want to be a boy or a girl? And you never know what a 3-year-old might say. You're like, I want to be a girl. Okay, well, you're a girl. And he doesn't know. It's like, what do you mean? I don't even know the difference between a boy and a girl at 3 years old. Seriously. So this movement is going on to try to mesh gender, or try to make it to where there's no distinction in gender, when clearly there is a distinction in gender, because you can make up little terms and slogans. You can come with little ideas and ideologies all you want that are products of your own mind and your own thinking. But and you can argue people down about it all you want. But one thing that can't be argued is genetics. One thing that can't be argued is biology. You know, those are the things that are clear cut proof and evidence of who and what is what. And even though people will still try to argue that, you know, somebody will come up with some fly explanation to why that is false or that is debatable or whatever. But the reality is the reality. So at the end of the day, if you want to try to empower little bitty children, what's your purpose? What's the agenda? Why? Why are you so adamant about making a boy be a girl and a girl be a boy? Why? What are you getting out of it, and what does it benefit the population? What does it benefit? Where are you trying to go with it? Now, back in the days, if a person of adult age and of clear understanding enough to make their own decision, if they make the decision to say, well, they want to be a male who dates males, they want to be a gay male, they want to be a gay female, they want to be trans or whatever they want to be, they could make that decision on their own once they got to a certain age where they understood all of the I guess all that it entails, right? But now the emphasis is so strong on putting that kind of weight on babies and young children who are not even old enough to even understand what they are. Can't even spell your middle name. Think about that. 4 or 5 years old, you can barely write, barely read. Your anatomy is not even, you ain't even developed yet. Your the rest of your body ain't even fully grown yet. Your brain is not even developed yet. But yet you put a choice in a child's head to make that decision that early. Or even if you don't give them the choice, you decide to impose it on them themselves. Well, you know, my son's going to be what they call that gender what? Gender fluid, gender neutral, whatever it is. You know. So the guy walked in and he was very upset about his son wearing a dress. And hey, rightfully so. I don't blame him. He handled it better than I would have handled it. I'm just gonna be real with you. I wouldn't have handled it because the second I hit the door and it catches my eye, I'm done. I'm going off. I'm going off the second that it catches my eye. You know, for so many reasons. There's so many layers to this. But I commend the brother for really, really keeping his composure. JoJo Jones says, I would have went to the school and checked whoever put my son in a dress. At that point, anybody can get it. Yeah, I mean, and that's basically what happened. He was at the school and I guess he walked into that particular classroom where his son was and just saw it. You know, I mean, why isn't there, not that it would make sense for it to be happening anyway, but the fact that they would do that without even that, there's no type of consent form sent to a parent. Hey, tomorrow we're having switch roles day. We're having switch wardrobe day tomorrow, and you know the girls are going to dress like the boys, and the boys are going to dress like the girls. We just wanted to find out if it's okay If your son, if little Junior participates, they didn't even do that. They didn't even do that. They just took it upon themselves. And in this social media age, think about it from this angle. In this social media age that we live in, right? You know, what if pictures were taken? You know, you in school, there's class pictures all the time. You know, there's certainly pictures that get taken. Nowadays, like I say, it may be a visual. They might put it on Instagram or something. They might put it on a school website. And this is the activity we did today. I don't know, in the kindergarten or something. And then you grow up later on, and now you're of age where you understand, and you grow up and you're not, and you are a straight male, and then years later they find this picture, this footage of you when you was a little boy with a dress on. Now, of course, you know, rightfully so, it could be explained away that, hey man, look, I was a little boy. I don't, man, they made us do that when we was in the kindergarten. I had no control over it. But still, people will still take that. You know, people that and don't grow up to be a rapper or an athlete, you know, because especially a rapper, they find that picture. Oh man, you just lost the battle. So it's very disrespectful and it's very inconsiderate to just put a child into that position, you know, and because the child just thinks they're having fun and this it's just a school activity. Blast Beat Industry says, let's put our cards on the table. I've struggled with gender, trans, whatever stuff my whole life. I kept it to myself for decades. When I finally dealt with it, I worked with a real therapist. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. The key word, you said you struggled with it. That means that you have engaged in an internal war with yourself. You're having a war within yourself to figure out whatever it is that you're trying to figure out, to get straight whatever it is that you're trying to get straight. But on the same token, it's everything that's going on with you is still based on I would say, you can correct me if I'm wrong, decisions that you chose to make or feelings that you had, and feelings that even if you don't may not understand why, you still may say to yourself, well, I do understand what they mean. The child don't understand what that means. See, this is something that we start off in distinguishing really from birth, in the cradle. When you have, if anybody that's in this chat right now were to uh, procreate with someone and have twins, if you had twins tomorrow, right, and one is a boy and one is a girl, it's always been, okay, well, you know, let's distinguish this. We're gonna put blue on the little boy. We're gonna put pink on the little girl. So that way, you know, we know they're twins. People won't get it misconstrued. Nowadays, the very concept. Think about this. The very concept of doing what I just said, where you would put pink on the little girl in the crib and blue on the little boy, and they twin brothers and sisters. To some, that would be viewed as offensive. Think about that. That would be viewed as being offensive, right? To some people, they say, "Well, man, that's offensive, bro." I mean, why is it offensive that I want to distinguish um, my little boy from my little girl? That would be offensive because that's the world, the world we live in, and the narrative that's been put out. So, Animanarchy said it's grooming, and I think that's a very, very good way to describe it. But it's also it's a sneaky form of grooming. See? Because you're right, it is grooming, and it is also conditioning. It's also social engineering. So all these things play into agenda. When you see people use the word grooming, it's they're grooming you. Some people groom on an individual basis. You know, you got some sick individuals that it ain't about agenda with them. It's about where it's about personal agenda. Like, hey man, I'm doing this for me. I got to train this one up so she'll do the things I like for her to do, or he'll do the things I like for her to do. They may not necessarily be doing it because they're looking at this big picture agenda. Now, when you see media promoted, when you see uh, certain advocates and groups that promote this type of action um, and push it like that, then yeah, that's the bigger agenda. But yeah, grooming is the key, but also, man, it plants a seed, man, potentially, not necessarily, but potentially plants a seed in a young man's mind, man. Is putting that dress on that little boy like that, man. I'm reading y'all's comments a little earlier than normal. Walaikum salam, brother Chris. Always good to see my brother in the building, especially on topics like this. I might need some backup. You never know. Bubba says I pulled my kids out of Viter school from stuff like this. Yeah, yeah. I mean, could you tell me something what they did? Give me an example of what they did. Yah's poet Yahoo says, "Get your children out of these schools. It's the only thing to do." And that's a point that I was going to get to later. That yeah, the solution is the best way to combat this type of activity is, yeah, you got to take your children out of schools, man. Because when this becomes part of curriculum, and if it's forced curriculum, see, to me, forced is not always somebody physically making you do it. You know, sometimes it's just kind of like saying, this is what's in my plan for today in my class. This is what we're going to do today. You can say, guess what we're going to do today, kids? And then, you know, but it's still, you're still making them do that. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Hold on. I slipped a little bit and lost a few of y'all. I got to come back now. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Because I'm reading these comments early. And you know what's messed up? It's messed up that you might have to be in a situation where at 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, you would potentially have to even teach your son before they even step foot in the school. Okay, son, this is what you got to learn before you go to school to learn. And you would it's like when you hear about when all of these police brutality incidents were taking place as in succession a few years back, and you saw the Mike Browns and the Philando Castiles and Tamir Rices and Walter Scotts and Trayvon and all these different scenarios. And it got so bad where it got to the point where black parents were literally having to teach their children how to interact with police. If this, you have to interact with a police officer, this is what you do. don't do this, don't do that, and parents literally would have to kind of like just do that. Don't walk with your. It's like going all the way back to the slavery times and the Jim Crow times and the civil rights era all over again, where it's like, if you're walking down the sidewalk, keep your head like this. Don't make eye contact with them. You have to uh, strip the freedoms away. You have to strip your son or your daughter's natural instinct to be free, to where if I'm walking down the street, I can just look the way I want to look, and because you have to teach them how to act, how to interact with law enforcement. If you're ever in a interaction with police officers as a black man, a black young person, this is what you say. You got to actually do that. We got to live by a separate set of rules. So even though it's different, the point is, what I was making is that it's almost like you got to teach your 3, 4, 5-year-old before they even go to school. Look, son, let me explain something to you. You go in here to learn. You listen to the teacher. You don't go in here acting a fool in school. But if they ever try to put you in an uncomfortable position, you say no. You stand up for yourself. If you're ever in class, son, now I'm talking to my 5-year-old, first day of kindergarten. If you're ever in class, if they ever do anything where they tell you to put on a dress, carry a purse, wear any type of women's clothes, put some makeup. If they have a makeup day in class and they want to put lipstick and blush and all that on your face, you say no. You tell them no. They have a problem. Well, why are you not doing it, Junior? Because my daddy said, my mama said that I'm not to do anything like that. I don't do that. Tell them no. You would literally have to teach your children about these kind of scenarios in this day and age. Son, if you're ever in class and they say, well, boys and girls today, I want to let y'all know as a teacher that y'all get to choose what y'all are. You're either a boy or a girl. You don't have to be what they say. You can pick. I want you to say no. No, Mrs. McGillicuddy, I'm a boy. No, Mrs. Houlihan, I'm a girl. Or it might be Mrs. Houlihan, who's really Mr. Houlihan, making the students call him Mrs. Shame we got to do that. Let me see. And I'm speaking biology, genetics, science, and math. This is just the reality of it all. Yash Poet says you don't tell a 3 to 8-year-old child they were born the opposite sex. You don't put that sick mess into a child. Why are we even in that early? Why are these subjects even being addressed to little children that age? Yeah. What happened to the 2+2? What happened to the timetables? What happened to basic goals and spelling? What happened to stand up and say ABCs? Why are children that young being taught that? Why is that even a subject? Because, again, a word that y'all hear me use a lot, but it's the reality. Agenda. Y'all trying to do. By the time your son is in middle school, he confused. It's all outdoors. Adults should have the freedom to do as they please within reason. But the problem is when they force it on children, there needs to be a line. LW says, who says putting on a certain outfit makes someone a boy or girl? It's just clothes. Well, you're not the first person that I heard try to use that argument. The reality is there are outfits that are made for women or girls, and there are outfits that are made for boys. There are some outfits that can go for both. Like if a boy can wear a pair of jeans, so can a girl. A boy can put on a pair of tennis shoes, so can a girl. A boy can wear a t-shirt, so can a girl. You've seen couples dressed alike in public, walking through the carnival, and they have on, they got on the exact same outfit. They got on a t-shirt, they got on some jeans, they got on some tennis shoes, and they have on a hat. Exact same outfit. But we also know that there are some clothes, there are certain clothes that are designed with female gender in mind, and a dress is something that a little boy should not be wearing. Now, if we want to go try to be political and what's the difference? There is a difference. There is a difference. If we just want to be devil's advocate and try to play that game, that's fine. But there's absolutely a difference. Little boy wearing a mini skirt. So if you saw a young man he's in 11th grade, he's a junior in high school, and you're a junior in high school too, and he shows up to school with a mini skirt on and some high heels. So he says just clothes. But a guy in some high heels, you don't see anything abnormal about that. You don't see anything different about that. Like, just some shoes. Come on, man. No. High heels were not designed for a man to wear. They were designed, I guess, for a woman to wear. Like, let's make this shoe with a long heel on it. And so, come on. No, it's not just clothes. So the guy's walking through class and show up to class 11th grade with a mini skirt on, and you're going to look at him and go, I don't see anything different. There's nothing wrong with that. See, women can get away with wearing clothes that a man wears more so than a man could get away with wearing clothes that a woman wears. Women's clothes are more distinct in terms of the connection that they have to that gender. It's more definite. It's more definitive. This is a woman's outfit. So the guy decides to just put on a bra. If it's just clothes, okay, what was the bra made for? The bra was designed because there are parts of the woman's anatomy that made the bra necessary to wear as a woman. Men don't have those parts. So the bra can't be considered just right down the middle because the bra, we don't have the parts that the bra supports. JoJo Jones says, whatever organ you was born with is what God intended you to be. Now be careful, JoJo, because they'll argue with that. It amazes me, but they'll argue with that. They will argue, like you said, the genitalia. They'll argue with that. They will argue with that, argue with you over that. Say, no, yeah. Well, yeah, I was born with this genitalia, but that was a big debate going on. I was watching that on YouTube just a few months back. There was a big debate between somebody, and they were like, I'm just as much as a woman as you. I'm just as much of a woman as you. What are you talking about? Just because you were born naturally with the parts of a woman doesn't make you any more. Now look at the boy. Doesn't make you any more a woman than me. Come on, man. That was a debate. They were going back and forth. But like JoJo Jones said, God made you that way. He gave you the part and parts. Better be careful. I'm reading y'all's words, y'all. So who thinks the man was wrong by a show of hands or a show of yeses or no's? Who thinks was the man wrong for being upset about showing up at the school and seeing his son in a dress? Was he wrong? Let's get a vote going on that. I'm gonna repeat it. The man who walked into school and caught his little bitty boy with a dress on by these teachers that got him to do it, was he wrong for being angry at that? Jimmy says some people may look at it as not a big deal, but I believe it can plant a seed in children that are so easily molded, influenced by. Yeah, I agree. It's a seed, man. Brother Chris said, I wouldn't give a damn. They would just be offended. Marcus Walker said, I'd be teaching that teacher a lesson. Is that something I'm being honest. I'm honestly asking the question because I don't know. Is that something that you could sue the school district over? I'm just curious to know. Let me check this vote real quick. I said, was the man wrong for being upset? We got a no, we got a no, we got a no, we got a hell no. Magneticus attractus. Instinct says he would be outraged. Bubba says, I agree. Nah, you're not going to sue the government. I just think that the same way, if I left my child in the custody of family members, right? If I left my child in the custody of my family members, hey man, you know, I'm gonna go to work. Y'all can keep Junior for me. I'll be back in 8 hours at 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., right? And while I'm gone, they start drinking beer or something. And they give my son some beer to drink. And as I'm coming home, I walk in the door and my son's sitting on the couch with a Budweiser in his hand. And there was just nothing. Y'all just decided to do that. Oh, man. Not cool, man. Not cool. Christopher says, my children aren't allowed to say the Pledge of Allegiance because that goes to Allah and my nation of Islam. And two, because of this topic called that trans so-called woman, sir. You know, when I was little, I went to school with a girl and she would always walk out the room when we would do the Pledge of Allegiance. And we never knew why till later. Every time the teacher would come in and say, okay, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, we would all stand up and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Right? We still know the words. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. That's etched in our brain. I ain't been in school in 648 years. I still know that because we said it every day. But she would get up and walk out of the class when we did the Pledge of Allegiance. Found out later she was a Jehovah's Witness, right? So I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? That meant that no, she was not going to pledge allegiance to a flag of the United States of America. Because as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said one time, you should only pledge your allegiance to God. So that's why Brother Chris says his allegiance goes to Allah. That's God. Now, the minister said he took the word allegiance. He said, what's the first three letters of the word allegiance? The first three letters of allegiance is all, A-L-L. So you're pledging your all to the flag of the United States of America. No, you should never give or pledge your all to a flag. And once you break it down, for us as Black people in America, we really have no reason to be pledging our allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. So when she got out and walked out the room, we was like, man, sometimes we would laugh, not knowing we was the dummies. So yeah, somebody had taught her early what to stand, what that family stood on. This is what our family stands on. We don't, just because you at school, just because you have teachers, just because you have principals and people that are in authority and people that run that school, there's order and there's discipline in different realms of the school. different areas of the school. Despite all that, there will be certain things that go against what we as a family stand for. So they taught her that. And that's what I was saying when I was saying that these days you about got to teach your son or daughter, hey, look, when they try to say this, you tell them no, not doing that. Respectfully. Nah, we ain't doing that. Adam Narki said, I actually used to smoke weed with a Mormon. No, that's on topic. You're not off topic. Chris, is that Chatoris fight? Appreciate the love, Chris. Thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate that a lot. Hey, man, you know what? I also want to really thank y'all real quick for the love and support on the latest episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast. The Zero interview is up. It's doing some pretty decent numbers by our standards. It ain't Cat Williams, but we appreciate y'all for I dropped something, y'all. We appreciate y'all for actually checking it out. If y'all haven't seen the latest episode of the podcast with the interview with Zero, y'all go to the Underground Dialogue podcast right here on YouTube and go check it out. Why do you always want to put us in dresses? Why? Why do y'all think that is? And why do some people think that that's okay? Anybody got any answers? Somebody? Anybody? It's somebody on here that's watching that's not comment, that haven't made a comment, which I don't put no pressure on nobody, but you have an opinion. JoJo says to emasculate black men. To kill the male and spare the female. It's a conspiracy. Yeah. Why does the military demean you first thing? I've heard that. What's the answer? What's the answer? What if you didn't know? What if that man wouldn't have showed up to that school and saw his son in that dress? And then one day he's at home, he goes upstairs and catches his son playing around in his wife's clothes or his sister's clothes or something like that. And the reason why I painted that picture, that scenario, is because the little boy could have gotten in trouble if he done it like that at home, right? If the father never caught him at school doing that, and then he catches him at home just doing it. Now he's at home doing it on his own, putting on his mama's heels and walking through the house, or got a dress on and all that. And the father of the mother may not even know that it stemmed from something that they were doing, an activity that they were doing at school. And the little boy gets in trouble, like, man, why are you doing that? We call whoopings growing up. The world's so sensitive now, you can't even see that. See, that's the hypocrisy of it. It's like, so I can't discipline my own child without getting in trouble, or CPS threatening to take my child, or something like that, or the police intervening if I discipline my child. I can't do that to my own child, but you could put a dress on him and they ain't got to tell me nothing. And you face no type of disciplinary action for doing that without my authorization. They trying to punk us, man. JoJo said it right. They trying to punk us out, man. They trying to punk us out, man. And they starting early. They starting early. They want to get you long before you can even grow into your own mind, into the understanding of what not to do as a man. So get him when he don't know no better and implement it into him. So by the time he is a teenager, it's not so bad. That's not something I frown upon. It's a war, man. It's a war, man. I'm just scrolling, man. I was really upset when I saw that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Blast Beat says, I told everyone here about my trans issues. Let me say that I'm against drag queen story time, weird surgery, hormone blockers, and all that creepy stuff. Well, man, let's hope and pray you can find understanding within yourself, man. Paul Lewis, if you want to know where I am, just ask. Time will tell. Said deep, right? It's so deep. Yeah, it is deep. It's so deep that I don't even understand it. It's deeper than Atlantis. In the words of Brother Jay, it's deeper than Atlantis. Deeper than the seafloor traveled by the mantis. Hmm. Yeah. God bless the children, man. Because at least with the adults, we should at least kind of have an understanding that a war is being waged on us, man. The babies don't even know, but the adults don't know because they allow it. That's why you see people defend. They come to the defense. I knew coming in there was going to be somebody that would come to the defense of that type of action. I already knew. That's the kind of world we live in. It's insane. And somebody, man, hey, man, that brother handled it a lot better than a lot of men would have handled it. A lot of women. See, and I don't want to dismiss the women and just act like uh, only a man would be outraged that a school put his son in a dress. No, it's a lot of women out there that don't play that. It's a lot of women out there that would have flipped out. They'd have walked in that classroom and saw their son in the dress. So it ain't just I want to give the sisters they credit too, because it's a lot of them that don't play that. We have a lot of our women that do subscribe and go kind of like, oh, he's so cute. They think it's funny when they 3-year-old is trying to walk in their heels and twisting and all. They think that's funny. They think it's funny. But it's a lot of women that don't get down like that. They'll knock 5 that little boy. You see, he come walking in there with her bra wrapped around him or something like that. All right. Abdullah, Issa, what's going on? Alhamdulillah. Already. All right, man. Well, y'all drop y'all locations, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Drop your locations. I'll give y'all some shout outs. It's late. I know I came on here like super late tonight. And I apologize again. I apologize again, man. Real quick, I want to shout out to my homie Rucker. Just linked up with him. We're getting ready to put together a track. We're getting ready to rip up a track together. Y'all be sure. If you don't know my brother, make sure you get to know him and support. See, his music is available on all the platforms. Yeah. Shout out to the homie we're gonna put down. We're gonna make a monster. Is that Ali V? I missed you. 3-0 visual. They do it anyway. They'd only do it one time with my son. I might can't stop you that from that first time when I didn't know it was coming, but you wouldn't get to do it twice. You wouldn't get to put my son in the dress twice. No sir, no ma'am. Mitchie 450. Yeah, y'all drop y'all locations, man. Let me give y'all some shout outs. Even those of y'all who may not have made a comment, feel free to drop your location. I'll still shout you out. Blast Beat is in Austin, Texas. Instinct is in Cape Town. Zim 1K, Bulgaria. Bubba C's out there in Vida, Texas. Brother Chris is in OKC. Man, Instinct, man, I know you like, man, this dude. Yeah, send me the beats, man. I'm free tonight. Mitchie 450 is in Quebec, Canada. 3-0 Visual is in Quebec, Canada. Man, y'all right there. Animanarch is in Ontario, Canada. Bing, bing, bing. 3 Canadians in a row. Child Succubus is up in the building. South Haven, Mississippi. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all get my latest projects. There they go right there. And y'all make sure y'all go check out the Lord Save Us video from the 7-Hour Block album, man. Make sure y'all go check that out. Y'all's poet Yahoo, the poetic wordsmith, is in Kentucky. right, that's it, y'all. All right. Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Maybe I'll come back through tomorrow. John P. came in at the last second in the clutch. Check it in from St. Louis. Number love, man. John P. I feel like it's something I'm forgetting to say. It's something that I'm forgetting to say. It's something that I want to say. I can't remember what it is. I'll give myself one more minute to try to remember. If not, I'm out. My brother Jesse came flying in. Denver, Colorado, in the building. Yeah. Magnetic will say, you remember as soon as you go offline. Yep. That's how it always happens. But that's all right. If it was something like that was important like that. Like I said, it's a pretty good chance, inshallah, I'll be back on with y'all tomorrow. So, and I will promise to jump on a little earlier so I won't have y'all up at 1:38 my time. Xavier, I'm in San Antonio this weekend. Nah, not San Antonio, but we'll be in Austin probably in about a month or so. Just got to set everything up. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. I'll see you, Adam Gannon. All right, man. Peace.